Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी। ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपं कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवान् च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहित कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितान् च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री राधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। So, Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Srila Prabhupada Book Reading Club. So, we are reading Teachings of a Lord Chaitanya. Till now, what we discussed, we will revise quickly. In the preface, we firstly see that in surrendering process, what we have to do to surrender ourselves to Krishna. The first point is that to accept the things favorable for discharging devotional service. Second, reject the unfavorable things. Third, believe firmly in a Lord's protection. And fifth, have no interest separate than the interest of a Lord. And six is always seek oneself as a meek and humble. Then we also discuss that Krishna is absolute, so there is no difference between Krishna's name, fame, pastimes, leelas, and his paraphernalia. So we can associate with the Krishna simply by associating with the sound incarnation or through the hearing the kathas and chanting the holy names. And the highest perfectional stage is worshiping. In worshiping, highest perfection stage is practiced by the damsels of Vraja. So we have to follow the footprints of the gopis. And we also seen that there are three ways, or there are three stages of a chanting. First is a nam aparad or offensive stage, where we have a lot of material desire. Second is a clearing stage, which is nama bhas. In this stage, like our material desires start getting cleansed, and the third stage is a transcendental stage, the Shuddha Nama stage. Here, we develop the love for Krishna, and this is the highest stage of perfection of human beings. And and then when it comes to when it comes to controlling senses, if you want to practice the yoga, you must control the senses. What is the best way to control senses? We cannot restrain the senses artificially, but we can engage the senses in Krishna's service, so that in this way we can control our senses. So we have to engage our mind and senses in Krishna conscious activities. And Lord Chaitanya is also named as a Vishwambhara. Vishwambhara means one who maintains the entire universe and lead all the living entities. And what is the movement of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? It's a Sankirtana movement. And to enter in a Sankirtana movement, we don't need any previous qualification. We simply have to follow the teachings and instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then one's life will be successful. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, tell us that we have to stop unnecessary and temporary activities such as increasing unnecessary comforts and running behind the material wealth and not using in Krishna's service but engaging in sense gratification. Because we have to suffer or enjoy the fruits of our activities. No one can check the laws of material nature. Then we move to the introduction section where we see that father of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Jagannath Mishra, who firstly lived at a district of a Sayat. Then he moved to the Navdeepa, and he married to the Sachi Devi, a daughter of a Nilambara Chakravarti. And they have couple of sons and a couple of daughters, and they have sons Vishwarupa and Vishwambara. Vishwambara, later known as a Nimai Pandit. This Nimai name was given by his mother because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu born under that Nimba tree. And after renunciation, this Nimai known as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived for the 40 stay on this planet for the 48 years. His first wife name was a Lakshmi Priya, but in early age she died. So on the order of his mother, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu married his second wife known as a Srimati Vishnu Priya Devi. And at the age of 24 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took the sannyas, and rest of 24 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stay in a Jagannath Puri. Out of this 24 years, 6 years, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu travel all over the India and preached the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we learn from the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that we have to pre-reach the message of Krishna. We have to do the pre-reaching. And yes, in Bhagavad Gita we should see we have seen that one should give up all the modes of religious activities and accept only Krishna as the only worshipable God. Why we have to accept only Krishna? Because it is accepted by all the Vedas, all the even the Brahmaji, Shivji, all the demigods also accept Krishna is the supreme personality of a Godhead. So we should serve the Krishna, because when we water the roots of a tree, then leaves, flowers, fruits, everything get water. So many people misunderstand that Krishna is a superhuman or some historical personality which is worshipped as a god, but it is not. But it is not a fact. It is a foolishness. And we also see Krishna is identical, so there is no difference between Krishna and a Vrindavan Dham. And what is the perfection and what is the goal of human life is to attain the stage of a prema, develop the love for Krishna, and go back to the Godhead. And in his early life is recorded in a Chaitanya Bhagavata written by the Sri Murari Gupta, who was a medical practitioner. And later life, when it comes to teachings, it is recorded in a Chaitanya Charitamrita by from the notebooks of a Sri Damodar Goswami. So when we see the advent of a Lord Chaitanya, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to descend in this material world, there is a lunar eclipse, and when there is a lunar eclipse, the people from the India go on the holy places, in the Ganges or holy rivers. They take a bath and they chant the Vedic hymns for the purification. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to was descending on this planet, so entire planet was taking bath in holy places and roaring the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, to advance in spiritual activities, we say that we have to follow the footprints and we have to follow the path of great acharyas who have attended the success by practicing rules of the shastras. So, pre-reaching so, this in this mission, pre-reaching is a very important pre-reach of the chanting holy names and pre-reaching the message of a Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said that people can hold the meetings and where they can glorify the Lord. And like when we chant the holy names, this transcendental sound cleans the dust of the material association from the mirror of the heart. Like as we see Cheto Darpana Marjanam. So, like we can see the some leelas, like how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu start his preaching. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a small baby, like he used to cry, but like when girls or like other like neighbors used to chant holy names, then he stopped crying. So people used to take advantage of this. They used to cry the like nimai, and like when they clap and when they take the holy names, then nimai pandit used to stop his crying. So in this way, like he start his preaching. So, like when it comes to Anna Prasana ceremony, so like a child has to choose between the coin and Srimata Bhagavatam, because it shows the future tendencies of a child. So, like Nimai Pandit choose the Srimad Bhagavatam over the coins. And we can also see his childhood pastimes, that on the courtyard, like he used to play. He was playing with a big snake. We can say that this is the Shesh Naga come to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and like come here to serve the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So but after so everyone was scared. Oh, small child is playing with a snake. What will happen to my child? His mother used to think like that. But like after some time, like after playing, that snake used to go, and then he comes to in his mother lap. And once the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was stolen by the thief, but like he cannot take the like ornaments from this Nimai Pandit, but Nimai Pandit take the pleasurable trip on his shoulder. And then another pastime is from the pilgrimage Brahmana. At once the Brahmana come to stay in Nimai Pandit's house, and like he used to prepare the offering, and when he goes to offer the offerings to the Lord, like Nimai Pandit used to come and eat the offerings. So but the Brahmana don't know that the Vishnu, he was offering the food. He is the Nimai Pandit only. So he do this twice and thrice. And when everyone sleep, then he prepare bhoga again and offer to Krishna. Then Nimai Pandit again come and eat the bhoga. At this time, Nimai Pandit reveal him that he is the Vishnu and he is the Krishna himself. Then and like he warned the Brahmana to not to disclose this truth to everyone. And this another pastime is that, like Nimai Pandit used to teach the Orthodox Brahmanas, like by plashing them with the water, and like instead of attending school. And like when this Brahmanas used to complain to the Jagannath Mishra, then he dressed himself like as like he's coming back from the school. And there is one more pastime, that in India there is a tradition that unmarried girls from the Hindu families, they used to worship the Lord of Shiva for getting a good husband. So Nimai Pandit used to go there, and they used to say Shiva and Ma Durga is Durga is my maid servants, and like they are my very dear devotees. So like when you offer the foodstuffs to them, they will bring the foodstuff to me. So instead of giving foodstuff to them, please give it to me. But girls used to refuse that, because they don't know Krishna. Nimai is itself a Krishna. So he used to curse them, you will get married to the old man who has the 7 children from their previous wives. So by getting scared and out of fear, they used to give the foodstuff to the Nimai Pandita. So now we can go to the student life. Hare Krishna, Muthi Manikam Prabhu, you can start.
Krishna Mata. His student life. In this way, the Lord passed his early childhood. When he was just 16 years old, he started his own Chatusbadi village school conducted by a learned Brahmana. In this school, he would simply explain Krishna even in reading a grammar. Srila Jiva Goswami, in order to please the Lord, later composed a grammar in Sanskrit in which all the rules of grammar were explained with the examples that used the holy names of the Lord. The grammar is still current. It is known as Harinamartha, Namamrita Vyakarana, and is prescribed in the syllabus of schools in Bengal. During this time, a great Kashmir scholar named Kesava Kashmiri came to the Navdiba to hold discussions on the Shastras. The Kashmir Pandita was a champion scholar and he had traveled to all places of learning in India. Finally, he came to Navdiba to conduct the learned Panditas there. The Panditas of Navdiba decided to match Nimai Pandita, that is Lord Chaitanya, with the Kashmir Pandita, thinking that if Nimai Pandita were defeated, they would have another chance to debate with the scholar, for Nimai Pandita was only a boy, and if the Kashmiri Pandita were defeated, then they would even be more glorified because people would proclaim that a mere boy of Navdiba had defeated a champion scholar who was famous throughout India. If so happened that Nimai Pandita met Kesava Kashmira while strolling on the banks of Ganges. The Lord requested him to compose a Sanskrit verse in praise of the Ganges, and the Pandita within a short time composed 100 slokas reciting the verses like a storm and showing the strength of his vast learning. Nimai Pandita at once memorized all the slokas without an error. He quoted the 64th sloka and pointed out certain rhetorical and literary irregularities. He particularly questioned the Pandita's use of the word Bhavani Bhartuha. He pointed out that the use of this word was redundant. Bhavani means the wife of Shiva, and who else can be here her Bharta or husband. He also pointed out several other discrepancies, and the Kashmir Pandita was struck with wonder. He was astonished that a mere student of grammar could point out the literary mistake of an erudite scholar. Although this matter was entered prior to any public meeting, the news spread like wildfire all over Navdiba. But finally, Kesava Kashmira was ordered in a dream by Saraswati, the goddess of learning, to submit the Lord, and thus the Kashmir Pandita became a follower of the Lord. The Lord propagates congregational chanting. The Lord was then married with a great pomp and gaiety, and at this time he began to preach the congregational chanting of the holy name of the Lord at Navdiba. Some of the Brahmanas became envious of his popularity, and they put many hindrances on his path. They were so jealous that they finally took the matter before the Muslim magistrate at Navdiba. Bengal was then governed by Pathans, and the governor of the province was Nawab Hussain Shah. The Muslim magistrate of Navdiba took up the complaints of the Brahmanas seriously, and at first he warned the followers of Nimai Pandita not to chant loudly the name of Hari. But Lord Chaitanya asked his followers to disobey the orders of the Hasi, and they went on with their Sankirtana, that is chanting, part party as usual. The magistrate then sent constables who interrupted a Sankirtana and broke some of the mridangas, that is drums. When Nimai Pandita heard of this incident, he organized a party for civil disobedience. He is the pioneer of civil disobedience movement in India for the right cause. He organized the procession of 100,000 men with 1,000 of mridangas and kartals, that is hand cymbals. And this procession passed over the roads of Navdeepa in defiance of the Hasi who had issued the order. Finally,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, let's give chance to other devotees to read. Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Hare Krishna. Vinod Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. The procession
Hare Krishna.
reached the house of Kazi, who went upstairs out of fear of the masses. The great crowds assembled at the Qazi's house displayed a violent temper, but the Lord asked them to be peaceful. At this time, the Qazi came down and tried to pacify the Lord by addressing him as nephew. He pointed out that he referred to Nilambara Chakravarti as uncle, and thus Srimati Sachidevi, Nimai Pandit's mother, was his cousin sister. He asked the Lord whether his sister's son could be angry at his maternal uncle, and the Lord replied that, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Since the Qazi was his maternal uncle, he should receive his nephew well at his home. In this way, the issue was mitigated, and the two learned scholars began a long discussion on the Quran and Hindu Shastras. The Lord raised the question of cow killing, and the Qazi properly answered him by referring to the Quran. In return, the Qazi asked questioned the Lord about cow sacrifice in the Vedas, and the Lord replied that such sacrifice, as mentioned in the Vedas, is not actually cow killing. In that sacrifice, an old bull or cow was sacrificed for the sake of receiving a fresh, younger life by the power of Vedic mantras. But in the Kali Yuga, such cow sacrifices are forbidden because there are no qualified brahmanas capable of conducting such a sacrifice. In fact, in Kali Yuga, all sacrifices are forbidden because the Lord's followers, the Qazi henceforth declared that no one should hinder the Sankirtana movement, which was started by the Lord, and the Qazi left this order in his will for the sake of progeny. The Qazi's tomb still exists in the area of Navdeepa, and Hindu pilgrims go there to show their respects. The Qazi's descendants are residents, and they never objected to Sankirtana even during the Hindu-Muslim royal days. This incident shows clearly that the Lord was not a so-called timid Vaishnava. A Vaishnava is a fearless devotee of the Lord, and for the right cause he can take any step suitable for the purpose. Arjuna was also a Vaishnava. Hare Krishna. Arjuna, Vaishnava devotee of Lord Krishna, and he fought valiantly for the satisfaction of the Lord. Similarly, Vajrangaji or Hanuman was also a devotee of Lord Rama, and he gave lessons to the non-devotee party of Ravana. The principles of Vaishnavism are to satisfy the Lord by all means. A Vaishnava is by nature a non-violent, peaceful, living being, and he has all the good qualities of God. But when the non-devotee blemishes the Lord for his devotee, the Vaishnava never tolerates such impudency. The Lord spreads his preaching activity. After this incident, the Lord began to preach and propagate his Bhagavad Dharma or Sankirtana. movement more vigorously, and whoever stood against this propagation of the Yuga Dharma, the duty of the age, was properly punished by various types of chastisement. Two Brahmana gentlemen named Kapala and Gopala, who also happened to be maternal uncles of the Lord, were inflicted with leprosy by way of chastisement, and later, when they were repentant, they were accepted by the Lord. In the course of his preaching work, he used to send daily all his followers, including Srila Nityanand Prabhu and Thakura Haridasa, two chief whips of his party, from door to door to preach the Srimad Bhagavatam. All of Navadipa was surcharged with his Sankirtan movement, and his headquarters were situated in the house of Srivasa Thakur and Sri Advait Prabhu, two of his chief householder disciples. The two learned heads of the Brahmana community were the most ardent supporters of Lord Chaitanya's movement. Sri Advait Prabhu was the chief cause for the advent of the Lord when Advaita Prabhu saw that the total human society was full of materialistic activities and devoid of devotional service, which alone could save mankind from the threefold miseries of material existence. He, out of his causeless compassion for the age-worn human society, prayed fervently for the incarnation of the Lord, and continually worshipped the Lord with water of the Ganges and leaves of the holy Tulsi tree. As far as preaching work in the Sankirtana movement was concerned, everyone was expected to do his daily share according to the order of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Once
Hare
Nityananda
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Snigdha Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Once Nityananda Prabhu and Srila Haridasa Thakura were walking down a main road, and on the way they saw a roaring crowd assembled. Upon inquiring from passers-by, they understood that two brothers named Jagai and Madhai were creating a public disturbance in a drunken state. They also heard that these two brothers were born in a respectable Brahmana family, but because of low association, they had turned into debauchees of the worst type. They were not only drunkards, but also meat eaters, woman hunters, dacoits, and sinners of all description. Srila Nityananda Prabhu heard all of these stories and decided that these two fallen souls must be the first to be delivered. If they were delivered from their sinful life, then the good name of Lord Chaitanya would be even still more glorified. Lord Chaitanya would be even still, thinking in this way, Nityananda Prabhu and Haridasa pushed their way through the crowd and asked the two brothers to chant the holy name of Lord Hari. The drunken brothers became enraged upon this request and attacked Nityananda Prabhu with filthy language. Both brothers chased them a considerable distance. In the evening, the report of the preaching work was submitted to the Lord, and he was glad to learn that Nityananda and Haridasa had attempted to deliver such a stupid pair of fellows. The next day, Nityananda Prabhu went to see the brothers, and as soon as he approached them, one of them threw a piece of earthen pot at him. This struck him on the forehead, and immediately blood began to flow. But Nityananda Prabhu was so kind that instead of protesting this heinous act, he said, "It does not matter that you have thrown this stone at me. I still request you to chant the holy name of Lord Hari." One of the brothers, Jagai, was astonished to see this behavior of Nityananda Prabhu, and he at once fell down at his feet and asked him to pardon his sinful brother. When Madhai again attempted to hurt Nityananda Prabhu, Jagai stopped him and implored him to fall down at his feet. In the meantime, the news of Nityananda's injury reached the Lord, who at once hurried to the spot in a fiery and angry mood. The Lord immediately invoked his Sudarshana Chakra, the Lord's ultimate weapon, shaped like a wheel, to kill the sinners But Nityananda Prabhu reminded him of his mission. The mission of the Lord was to deliver the hopelessly fallen souls of Kali Yuga, and the brothers Jagai and Madhai were typical examples of these fallen souls. 90% of the population of this age resembles these brothers, despite high birth and mundane respectability. According to the verdict of the revealed scriptures, the total population of the world in this age will be of the lowest Shudra quality, or even lower. It should be noted that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never acknowledged the stereotyped caste system by birthright. Rather, he strictly followed the verdict of the Shastras in the matter of one's Swarupa or real identity. When the Lord was invoking his Sudarshana Chakra and Srila Nityananda Prabhu was imploring him to forgive the two brothers, both the brothers fell down at the lotus feet of the Lord and begged his pardon for their gross behavior. The Lord was also asked by Nityananda Prabhu to accept these repenting souls. And the Lord agreed to accept them on one condition, that they henceforward completely give up all their sinful activities and habits of the debauchery. Both the brothers agreed and promised to give up all their sinful habits, and the kind Lord accepted them and did not again refer to their past misdeeds. This is the specific kindness of Lord Chaitanya. In this age, no one can say that he is free from sin. It is impossible for anyone to say this, but Lord Chaitanya accepts all kinds of sinful persons on the one condition that they promise not to indulge in sinful habits after being spiritually initiated by the bona fide spiritual master. There are a number of instructive points to be observed in this incident of the two brothers. In this Kali Yuga, practically all people are of the quality of Jagai and Madhai. If they want to be relieved from the reactions of their misdeeds, they must take shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and after spiritual initiation, thus refrain from those things which are prohibited in the Shastras. The prohibitory rules are dealt with within the Lord's teachings to Srila Rupa Goswami. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, just read this miracle at the house of Srinivasa.
Miracle at the house of Srinivasa. During his householder life, the Lord did not display many of the miracles which are generally expected from such personalities, but he did once perform a wonderful miracle in the house of Srinivasa Thakura while Sankirtana was in full swing. He asked the devotees what they wanted to eat, and when he was informed that they wanted to eat mangoes, he asked for a seed of the mango, although this fruit was out of season. When the seed was brought to him, he sowed it in the yard of Srinivasa, and at once a creeper began to grow out of the seed. Within no time, this creeper became a full-grown mango tree, heavy with more ripened fruits than the devotees could eat. The tree remained in Srinivasa's yard, and from then on, the devotees used to take as many mangoes from the tree as they wanted. Hari
Hare
Bol.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So from tomorrow we will conclude this pastimes. Now we can move towards the Mukundmala Stotra. Hare Krishna, anyone wants to recite? Sharimila Mataji, Sarita Mataji.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Sarasi janayane shashanka chakre murabhidima viramasva chittarantam sukataram aparam na jatu jane haricharana smaranamratena tulyam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O mind, please never stop taking pleasure in thinking of the Mura demon's destroyer, who has lotus eyes and bears the conch and disc weapon. Indeed, I know of nothing else that gives such extreme pleasure as meditating on Lord Hari's divine feet. Purport. From his own experience, King Kulashekara is speaking of how delightful it is to think of Krishna. That thinking is his greatest pleasure in life. As a king, he had access to many worldly pleasures, but they all counted as nothing compared to meditation on the Lord's lotus feet. This Krishna meditation is available for all, and the Supreme Lord and his representatives want everyone to enjoy it. Thus, Lord Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, always think of me. This meditation is not only for philosophers and poets. Though Arjuna was a military man, Lord Krishna instructed him, remember me and fight. The Vedic literature prepared by Srila Vyasadeva and filled with narrations of the Lord and his devotees is meant to help us remember the Lord always. These books teach us how to divert our mind from ordinary thoughts, which are filled with business, entertainment, speculation, and the like, and fix it on Supreme Lord and his personal feature. Otherwise, numerous worldly thoughts will absorb us. News of politics, for instance, is always bombarding us via TV, radio, and the print media. Also, our personal economic affairs are themselves fully absorbing. And to put up with anxieties, we can take part in diversions like video, music, intoxication, and sex stimulation. Wasting time with mundane thoughts is nothing new. But today, the pace, variety, and intensity of diversions grabbing for our attention seem to have increased. Thus, although meditation of God is as essential as ever, one may conclude that it is impossible nowadays. However, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada and the Krishna consciousness movement he founded, we can absorb the mind in thoughts of the Lord even in this age. If one lives in a city with an ISKCON temple, one can directly visit the deity of Lord Vishnu as King Kulashekara did. Even on the way to work, one may find time to stop and briefly see the Lord in the temple. If one lives far from a temple, one can still read Srila Prabhupada's books, correspond with devotees, listen to devotional recordings, subscribe to regular Krishna conscious publications, and of course, chant the Hare Krishna mantra alone or with friends. Thus, in these and many other ways, meditation on Krishna is available to those who want it. Here, King Kulashekara specifically mentions meditation upon the feet of the Lord. Such meditation implies humility and indicates that the meditator desires shelter under the Lord's protection. Indeed, the Lord's lotus feet symbolize that shelter. Elsewhere, the Vedic literature describes the Lord's lotus feet as umbrellas, shielding the devotees from material life. So, a devotee is satisfied meditating on the Lord's feet. Although he sometimes meditates on other parts of the Lord's body, we should remember, however, that although the lotus feet of the Lord symbolize the total shelter he extends toward his devotees, there is nothing symbolic about them. They are always to be thought of in a personal, literal sense. Once, some Hatha Yoga students asked Srila Prabhupada if there was a Shastric reference specifically stating the transcendentalists who regard the absolute impersonal, truth as impersonal would fall down. Prabhupada quoted the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32. ये अन्यर अरविन्दाक्ष विमुक्तमानिनस् त्वयस्तभावादविशुद्धबुद्धयः आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परं पदं तथा पठन्ति अदो न अनद्रतायुष्मद् अङ्ग्रयः. O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotee who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position may think themselves liberated, their intelligence is impure. They fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet. After quoting the verse, Prabhupada said, feet means person. In conclusion, then we should have firm faith that the absolute truth is the Supreme Person, Krishna, that his body is all blissful, and that his feet are worth meditating upon. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. From this verse, we can see like we always have to meditate upon Krishna, as Krishna said, "Man mana bhava mad bhakto." So like we have to always meditate like 24/7. And like we cannot say like we have to give up all the things and simply sit and chant the holy name. No, like what Krishna is advising, like remember me and fight. Like even in fighting, like Arjuna can remember Krishna. So like we are not on a battleground. we can say that we are on a battleground of a material world, like a material desires, but we can still remember the Krishna. And like currently, yes, our mind is diverted by the ordinary thoughts, which are full with the business, entertainment, speculations, and we also chased like other way, like other things like videos, music, or intoxication, even the sex stimulations. So we shouldn't waste our time in these things because they are simply the divergence and they grab our attention and like we get diverted from the path of the spirituality. So here it is recommended like how can we stay the Krishna consciousness in entire day. So when we are going outside, like we can visit the temple if it is near, and if like temple is not near, so we can read the Srila Prabhupada books, and like we can watch the recordings of a Hari Katha and the Bhagavatam classes, and like we can also chant the holy names, chant the holy name. And you know the meditation is always available for Krishna, available the meditation upon Krishna is always available for those who want it. So those who want to remember Krishna 24 by 7, they can find the ways to meditate upon Krishna, and who don't want to do that, they will find the excuses. So yes, we should take the shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna. So we will get the all protection. And here, yes, when we say that we have to take the shelter again in the lotus feet of Krishna, that feet means entire the Krishna, because Krishna's body is a absolute. Na? It's not like that his eyes will only only can see the eye, even the eyes he can impregnate the material world. So even from the eyes he accept the bhoga. So yes, Krishna is the absolute, and it is a worthy to take the shelter of a Krishna, because Krishna promised na, if you surrender me, if you take the shelter of me, then like he will take care of everything, even even the reactions of our past action, Krishna will nullify them. But we have to surrender to Krishna first. Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Anyone new who wants to read? Reading is also seva to Srila Prabhupada, so we should be take the seva. We should take the seva. Hare Krishna. Sarita Mataji, are you able to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I'll recite like a shloka, quite big. Yeah. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. माभिर्मन्दमनो विचिन्त्य बहुधा यामिश्चिरं यताना नैवामि प्रभवन्ति पापरिपव स्वमिनानुश्रीधरः आलस्यं व्यपनीय भक्ति सुलभं ध्ययस्व नारायणं लोकस्य व्यसनापनोधन करो दासस्य किं न क्षमः. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O foolish mind, stop your fearful fretting about the extensive torments imposed by Yamaraja. How can your enemies, the sinful reactions you have accrued, even touch you? After all, is your master not the Supreme Lord, the husband of goddesses Sri? Cast aside all hesitation and concentrate your thoughts on Lord Narayana, whom one very easily attains through devotional service. What can that dispeller of the whole world's troubles not do for his own servant? Puppet. In a very positive mood, King Kulashekara reminds us that as long as we are under the protection of the Supreme All-Powerful Lord, no harm can come to us, even that which our own sinful reactions would normally bring us. Lord Krishna also orders Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita 9.31, declare it boldly, my devotee will never be vanquished. Sinful life and its reactions are certainly serious matters, not to be easily dismissed. Yamaraja meters out hellish torments to all sinful living beings. But the process of bhakti is so potent that it drives away all sinful reactions as if they were merely enemies one might see in a bad dream. In text 15, King Kulashekara will recommend the chanting of the holy name of Krishna as the best way to attain freedom from the miseries of birth and death. Namacharya Haridasa Thakura concurs, declaring that even the shadow of pure chanting of the holy names, known as Nama Bhasa, destroys the entire stock of sins one has accumulated for many lifetimes and thus grants liberation. The devotee's claim to victory over birth and death is not an idle boast, but it requires full surrender to Lord Hari. The Lord offers this benediction to the unalloyed servant of his servant and not to others, as long as one tries to protect oneself with wealth and worldly power, one will be an easy victim for powerful Maya. The Jiva who is serious about freeing himself from uh, samsara does not therefore pretend to act on his or her own prowess, but always follows the authorized directions of the Supreme Lord and his representatives. Only such a dependent servitor of the Lord under his full protection can be confident of conquering birth and death. In this prayer, King Kulashekara mentions Yamaraja, the Lord of Death, as the cause of long lasting torments. But such suffering is not for the Lord's devotees. Yamaraja himself once instructed his servants, the Yamadutas, that those who chant the holy names of the Lord were not under Yama's jurisdiction. Yamaraja said generally the devotees never commit sinful activities, but even if by mistake or because of bewilderment or illusion, they sometimes commit sinful acts. They are protected from sinful reactions because they are always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. Bhagavad Gita 6. Bhagavatam 6.3.26. Imraja told his followers they should not even go near the devotees. The Vaishnavas are always protected by Lord Vishnu, uh, Vishnu's club, and thus neither Lord Brahma nor even the time factor can chastise them. Srila Prabhupada said that when a devotee receives initiation from his spiritual master, he is freed from his karmic reactions. Pains and pleasures that may appear like continuing karmic reactions are merely the residual effects of non devotional activities, like the last resolutions of an electric fan after it has been unplugged. But everything depends on the sincere execution of devotional service. One who again regularly transgresses the laws of God, even after taking the vows of initiation, is once more subject to the merciless dealings of material nature. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So, like, we can see here, na, uh, when we are under the protection of Supreme Lord, who is the all-powerful Lord, so there is no harm. There is no harm, and like whatever, harm from what? The harm from the sinful reaction from our past lives. So, because in Bhagavad Gita 9.31, Krishna declares boldly, my devotee will never perish, or they will be never vanquished. So and process of bhakti is so potent that it will drives away all sinful reactions. So even we attend a mangal aarti, when we see the Krishna, then our all our sins start getting nullified. So everything has the reason, so we have to follow. So, and what said that the chanting of a holy name is the best way to attain freedom from all the miseries of the birth and death. And like even the Namacharya Haridas Thakur said that even the shadow of a pure chanting Shuddha Nama, which is known as a Nama Bhasa, it can nullify all the sins accumulated for the many past times, many past lives, and thus it granted the liberation. And yes, Jiva always have independence to choose between the material world and the spiritual world, or choose between material things and spiritual things. and the jiva who is very serious to free himself from these cycles of birth and death, he should follow the authorized directions of a supreme lord and his representative. So he should accept the spiritual master, and he should listen, and he should listen the glorification and like hear the instruction from the bona fide spiritual master, or or supreme lord, or he from his representative. So we shouldn't go here and there. Like if we know, okay, these are the bona fide, so you have to follow it without questioning. So as we say now, we don't have to do the manodharma, we have to do what Krishna said and what our gurus said. So when we accept the spiritual master or bona fide representative of Krishna, like then we will be under the full protection of Krishna, and then we will be confident that we will conquer this cycle of birth and death. And even the it is a discussion from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 3 and 26 verse, where Yamaraja chastise his servants or Yamdutas that you don't have to go near the devotees who are chanting the holy names, because if one chants the holy name, they are not under the Yamraja's jurisdiction. They are protected. They are protected by the Vishnu, like a Lord Vishnu's club, and like even the Lord Brahma and the time factor cannot chastise them. And like in case even they make some mistake by bewilderment and or illusion, they will be protected from the sinful reactions, because they always chant Hare Krishna mantra. But here comes the twist. There are offenses to the holy name, that in that there is a seventh offense, to commit sinful activities on the strength of a holy name. Like if you're that like if I commit some sinful reaction, a sinful act, and if I chant the holy name, it will be nullified. Okay, Krishna can see one or twice, but if you start repeating the things, and if you try to fool Krishna, then Krishna is like a supreme supreme cheater. Like he know better how to cheat you, so you cannot cheat the Krishna. So like Krishna will don't grant these things, this mistakes should not be voluntary. If they happen by mistake, then Krishna can forgive, but if you are making a mistake voluntary, then Krishna will not forgive. So like it should not be like that. If I chant the holy name, my sinful reaction will be nullified, so I can commit the more sin and I will chant the Hare Krishna mantra. No, like uh, we shouldn't commit the sinful activities on the strength of holy name. It is an offense to holy name. It is a nam aparad. So we don't have to do that. But like how beautiful it is now, like even a Yam Dutas, if you chant the Hare Krishna mantra, if you follow the process, even the Yam Dutas, even a time factor, even a Brahman, no one can chastise the devotees. And like Krishna will take care of them. So it is very beautiful. What we have to do, we simply have to surrender to Krishna. And like what kind of surrender we already see in Lord Chaitanya's book, like 6 things. So yes, like initiation from his spiritual master, he freed from the all karmic reactions. So like when we receive the Harinam initiation, all our karmic reaction will be will be converted into the dust. And like what, and then after initiation, when we see the devotees are suffering from some material issues or some some bodily diseases, they are when we switch off the fan, there will be some rotations of electric fan even after unplugging. Like they are the similar, like there will be some residual effects of a non-devotional activities, because like even after initiation we do not fully engage, and we do not fully dedicate ourselves to Krishna, but like we have to do we have to fully dedicate to Krishna. So like everything depends on the sincere execution of a devotional service. And even the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can accept the most sinful person, but on one condition. What is the condition? That you shouldn't repeat the same mistakes again, and you shouldn't start doing the same sinful activities after the initiation, or after you come to know, okay, these are the bad things, so you shouldn't do that. So this is the thing. Then Krishna will take care of it. So how beautiful it is. Krishna will protect us from everything. Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hadanem Sudaduhitir Kalatra Trana Baradidhanam Vishama Visaya Doye Majadam Ablavanam Bhavadi Saranam Yago Vishnu Poto Naranam. Hare Krishna. Translation. The people in this vast ocean of birth and death are being blown about by the winds of material dualities. As they flounder in the perilous waters of sense indulgence with no boat to help them. They are sorely distressed by the need to protect their sons, daughters, and wives. Only the boat, that is Lord Vishnu, can save them. Purport. Materialists sometimes philosophize that dualities such as heat and cold provide an interesting variety of or spice to life. In truth, however, although we may romanticize about life in this temporary world of duality, its main quality is misery. Prahlada Maharaja has described this world as a place where we meet up with things we don't want and are separated from what we love. We either hunger for what we lack or what lament upon losing something valuable. Whenever we seem to run into smooth sailing on the sea of human affairs, we know either consciously or at the back of our minds that we are being pursued by time, the ultimate destroyer.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. We will continue
Hare,
tomorrow, okay? So, yes, is this world is full of miseries, and this world is temporary. And as Krishna said, "Dukhalem ashashvatam." But we try to make this dukhalem into sukhalem, and we hanker for the things which we lack, and we lament for the things for what we lose in the past. And yes, so we cannot stay happily in this world, but we have to understand this understand the nature of this material world. We have to understand ourselves. Who am I? What is my aim of life? Otherwise we will simply try to increase our comforts of this material world, material life, and we will one day we will lose everything with this body. So yes, Sarita Mataji said that yes, the name Nimai is given by his beloved mother, because on page number 9 from the book Lord Chaitanya, His Life and Teachings, when we go to the page number 9, first paragraph, last 2-3 lines, this name was given by his beloved mother because Lord took his birth beneath the Nima tree in the courtyard of his parental house.
Hare Krishna
So this
Mataji, because I
yeah,
remember a drama where we did na.
yeah,
So there I saw that Nimai name was told by Advaita Acharya Thakur by
yeah.
she was the one who suggested first. Like she told 3 times Nimai in his ear, something like that. I
Yes,
remember.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that is why I asked. So here it is given like
So
mother has.
yeah, because we have to follow the authorized books, na. So if Prabhupada has given, so we have to.
Okay.
Okay. So today we can end here. Tomorrow we will start. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। So today we
Krishna.
have completed our 50 days of book reading club. So from 50 days, we are regularly reading Srila Prabhupada books and hearing Srila Prabhupada books. So Hari Bol to all the devotees, and thank you for the joining. Because of your association, this book reading club has attained the 15 days, and like everyone is enjoying. So Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare
Krishna Ma-
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Ho
Mataji.
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 Happy Krishna conscious day.
Mataji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.